My life fades, the vision dims, and all that remains are memories. I remember a valley of quiet trees, where the Kit-Tory elves watched from the high branches of the world. The Wardens returned to them that day, bruised, tired, alive. They had faced the ancient trials beneath the waters, where the seals of the valley still held, and the old dead still stood watch. There they had met the waterlogged knight, Sir Albright, last of the Wardens of the Seals, and though time had drowned him, honour had not. The elves welcomed our heroes home. Healers tended their wounds, old songs were sung beneath the trees, but not all rest comes without dreams. For in the quiet of sleep, Talon, servant of Bahamut, was visited. She came from the mist. An ancient cleric of the old age, the woman who had forged the sacred seals that bound the valley. Behind her stood thousands, the Watch, ancient soldiers of bone and rusted steel, guardians who had held their vigil for centuries. They knelt, not before a king, not before a god, before Talon. She spoke softly, then placed into his hands a silver chain. Bearing a diamond no larger than a marble, a relic of the old covenant, she pressed it against his shield, and the sigil of Bahamut, rippling like water beneath moonlight, changed. The dragon's wings curved inward, protecting the diamond at its heart, a symbol reborn. When Talon awoke, the shield had changed, and the valley itself seemed to breathe a little easier. Soon after, the council gathered, 12 elders of the Kit-Tory. They met the Wardens beneath the roots of a tree older than kingdoms. There they gave gifts, potions to mend wounds, and brooches of silver owl feathers. "Break them," the elders said, "and the winds themselves will carry you safely to the ground." For the Wardens would soon take to the skies. The elves called their mounts. Great owls descended through the branches like silent spirits, and with them came a ranger of their people, Hank, cocky, sharp-eyed, certain of himself. "Stay close," he told them, "and try not to die." Then he took to the air. High above the valley they flew, above forests untouched by war, above rivers that had not yet tasted blood. But ahead, Smoke, the Red Hand, their camp stretched across the land like a spreading wound. Hank pointed toward the horizon. "Climb," he said, and climb they did. Then they saw it, a small village, deep behind enemy lines, its walls broken, its gates splintered. Only a handful of militia stood between the people and destruction. Hobgoblins gathered outside the gates, dozens. An ogre smashed the doors with a club carved from an entire tree. Below, the villagers dragged their wounded into the streets. Bodies arranged into a desperate message, help. The Wardens argued. Some said they could not risk it, others said they must. Ulrich, his green amulet glowing softly, warned against the danger. But Mr. Pfister, well, Mr. Pfister does not often wait for permission. He kicked his owl into a dive, straight toward the ogre, and the Wardens followed, even Ulrich, reluctantly. Arrows filled the sky, owls screamed through the smoke, spells cracked against the walls, a wall of fire erupted before the gate, burning goblins where they stood. Mr. Pfister crashed to the ground, where a goblin named Leroy attempted a rather dishonourable attack. Elsewhere above, the Wardens fought from the sky. Hand crossbows fired downward, arrows flew upward, hidden hobgoblin snipers emerged from the rubble drawing longbows, and from the tower came something worse, a wyvern. It rose screaming into the sky, its tail dripping poison, its wings casting shadows across the burning town. The ranger with no name met it first. Twiggins clung to his shoulder, bolts flew. Ulrich circled above on his owl, casting spells like falling stars. The wyvern struck, the owls wheeled. The battle raged across the sky itself, until at last the beast fell, crashing into the earth below. One by one, the Wardens hunted down the remaining snipers. Mr. Pfister crushed hobgoblins with fists and feet. Zoftig the pirate somehow managed to fight a battle, sell salsa, and win several imaginary awards. Don't ask me how. Some stories are better left unexplained. When the fighting ended, the fires still burned, but the people lived. Not all, but many. The Wardens returned through the broken gate. Villagers gathered around them, some cheering, some weeping. A chalkboard stood in the square. 150 people had lived there before the attack. 102 remained. 102 is better than nothing, one sign read. Another simply said, "Thank you." But gratitude does not quiet every question. A small boy stepped forward, holding a wooden toy sword. He looked up at the ranger and asked, "Where's my dad?" The Wardens stood together as the sun set. Behind them, the survivors. Before them, the road to Brindle, and beyond that, war, for the Red Hand was still marching.